Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beers with Batch. It's been a long time since we've done one of these. Usually I'm just doing negative podcasts about the city and other things, or talking about stuff in foreign lands with the Stutz brothers. But today, we actually get to do something fun. I've got some special guests in Han, of course. We've got Robin and Scott from Cobblestones of Lowell, an institution, and they brought beers with us, which is great because it's Beers with Batch. Welcome, guys.
Well, happy to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's happy to have you.
Yeah.
So this is what? You're coming up on 30 years,
Actually,
right?
30 years passed. It was last month. We just was too busy to have any kind of big celebration last month, so we're putting it off a little bit. But
I mean,
yeah, last month.
So the only thing that lasts more than 30 years in Lowell is nonprofits. So this is amazing.
They are doing well.
There's a lot of money involved in Scott, I'll tell you that.
I've heard that.
It's a growth industry. So no, I mean, it's been 30 years in the restaurant business. I think it seems like.
Yeah. I think in restaurant years, it's like dog years.
Yeah.
200 years.
So Scott Plath, of course, and Robin, you've been there for how long?
30 years.
30 years.
What, since the beginning?
Yeah.
Jeez. So I have no idea what actually.
Day one, baby.
Day one, right?
It was day like
Almost.
10.
Day 10.
It was very
Something like
soon
that.
after. But,
So before we start now, Scott, I know you didn't realize we were talking about Cobblestones because it was Beers with Batch. I thought we were just talking about beer. So what did you bring for us today?
Oh, beers. Actually, we chose. The story is that Robin gave me the background of what we were doing today, but sometimes I hear things but don't hear them, and Beers with Batch just made me think that we were going to be talking about beers, which is an exciting subject for me. I love beer, so I started thinking about all the different stories about beer, and so we did bring some beers, and the 3 cans are representative of Jack's Abbey. A shout out to them because they are supporting us and a little bit of sponsorship for Folk Festival.
Oh, nice.
And beyond. But they've been a really, really good partner to us.
Now, are they local or where are they from?
Jack's Abbey is local. Yeah, it's a great question. Robin, you don't know the answer to that?
I do
Jump in here.
want to say.
Lawrence?
No, not Lawrence, not Walt. Shame on us.
But they're New England at least.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
well, for
yes.
sure. Oh, yeah.
All right, so you got what's post shift is what Bavarian style Pilsner.
Yes, would you like that one?
You got what's the other one?
We
What is it?
have
Something? Lager?
the Pilsner, the Jack's Abbey House Lager, which is their top selling beer,
We had that
and
on
then they have a
draft.
Rattler, which is blood orange wheat, which
Framingham.
is quite tasty.
Hold on, I'll let you
Framingham
pick first. What are you thinking?
I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm
please.
tempted by the blood orange, but I know that piqued your interest, so it's all you, brother.
Well, you can share.
I-
You can bring glasses.
We have
though,
2 of
yeah.
each.
Oh yeah, that's
I'll
right.
start with. I'll take the yellow one there. That looks.
Pretty.
Is it the wheat beer?
This is no.
I think that is as well.
No. Well, I don't think that's a Bavarian style Pilsner.
Oh, that's perfect.
You'll love that.
I was is Jack Abbey known more for the ciders? No.
No.
They make a cider, right?
Yeah. I think.
Oh.
We're not representing them very well right now.
No.
Thumbs up here,
But
too,
Jack
brother.
Abbey,
brother.
Cheers.
This is
Cheers.
Thursday.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, do we have enough?
You gonna have one
for
there,
you?
Scotty?
Happy anniversary.
Drink that. I don't have
Yeah,
enough.
happy anniversary.
you.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, this weekend is Folk Festival, so our 30th year, and we've been doing Folk Festival parties in the street for
Yeah.
every year that there's a Folk Festival, we have a party. So the only
Didn't
ones we've
start in the
missed is the
street, though.
pandemic. No, our first year we did a.
No, it started on the patio.
Oh, you
Before
are
it was a
right.
patio.
Before it was a patio. Yeah, that was our street
We had
30
a
years ago.
bonder
One on the
there.
left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think that was the first year. Yeah, the first year we did frozen drinks.
Well, bad
And,
idea.
way back when. Yeah. I'm not sure we did that 2 years in a row. The line was around the corner, so I'd like to think we got a little smarter each year.
Well, I know that I think so. You guys opened in '94, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember the first time I went there, but I know for some reason I don't remember the first time I went, but I remember what I had, and it was a Europe Club, and I think it's still on the menu.
Still on the menu.
That's right.
But
yeah.
I had my rehearsal dinner there. I had my divorce dinner there. The day I went to court, I went right down.
Yeah.
You guys opened at 11:30. I got there a little early. Lauren,
Do they have to wake you up on the steps or?
right? Lauren let me in. I had my favorite sandwich, which I can't remember the name of. It was the one with the
Comav, the barbecue.
the Conrad.
Oh, okay, yep.
Shaved roast beef.
Yep.
Shaved prime rib, actually. Yeah.
Shaved it was the most. It was delicious. Hon, you ever have one of those?
Sounds lovely.
It was my favorite sandwich of all time.
Yeah.
And you brought it back at some point.
Oh, we did. Yeah. We've taken off and brought back many things in 30 years, but
I also had, I had that was my divorce thing. I also had a couple years later when I started dating, I had a run-in with a semi-drunk doctor who I had a little altercation in, and Scott bounced the hell out of that situation and made the doctors leave and let me
That's
stay.
funny.
And he's like, this guy was like, I don't know what he accused me of doing. Scott's like, nah, I know him. You're out of here. It was awesome. Like,
that's a great story.
Oh, it's a bit of Lowell institution for a lot.
I'm surprised I didn't have Robin do it. She's.
I think that was her beach week.
No,
She
okay.
was up in her shanty up in Hampton. The one room shanty was awesome. Not the whole other set of stories right there.
yeah.
But I actually don't know how you guys picked Lowell, because you're not from Lowell. You're from New York,
I'm
right?
from New York. Yeah, and well, I met a girl at UMass Amherst, so that's where it all began. Yeah,
Okay.
Kathy Moynihan, and
Yeah.
And a year before that, I was working in a resort property in New York, right outside of New York City, and met a chef there, and he was really talented, and we became friends, and we talked about opening a business together. And my plan all along was to have my own restaurant. I went to UMass Amherst for restaurant management. So we got up here, and I worked for other people. And I think the second or third time I lost a job, I'm like, you know what, the hell with this. Can you curse on the show?
Oh yeah, you can.
As you wish, sir.
Yeah. Okay, for the next time around. And so I sat in my cellar in Hudson, New Hampshire, and just grinded ideas and concepts. The chef called me and said, let's start that business. And he was still in New York at the time.
Oh wow.
And so he moved up here and we started catering.
Okay.
Long story short, we catered, we amassed some money over the course of 5 years. And we were looking for a deli storefront so that we no longer had to do our own dishes and prep food out of our houses. And Kathy's father, yeah, that's right. Kathy's father was working at City Hall at the time, and he said, "Well, there's a restaurant downtown Lowell that's abandoned, and do you want to take a look at it?" So
I think it was the All American Grill.
no, Dutton Street Grill.
Dutton Street Grill. All American
yeah.
Grill was Old Court.
Right. Yeah. And then before that, the Press Club.
Yeah, but you guys were Oliver's before All American Grill.
Oliver's, then Dutton Street Grill. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I visited Lowell for the first time in the 80s from UMass, we went to Oliver's for dinner. So I was familiar with the building.
Yeah.
But
You guys must have been young though when you started.
I was 29 when we signed the lease.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He saw the explosive potential of downtown Lowell.
Well,
That's right.
there was nothing but potential.
He was undeterred by the 99% death rate.
30 years of potential. How can you go wrong?
Yeah. Everything is upside. Well, that was actually the bottom of an economic cycle. It was 90, 94, 93.
Buy when there's blood in the streets.
Whatchamacallit had just left was the big department store that was downtown.
Oh,
Jordan Marsh?
Jordan Marsh.
Jordan Marsh had left, and a couple of other retailers had
Yeah,
left.
Cherry Webb left. They left. Record Lane closed.
The owner of the building was ill, both tired of the business and maybe drank a lot and was losing money there. So he allowed us to negotiate an amazing opportunity. Like we could get out at any time we want without any loss. But the 20 grand we put down on it.
Wait, so he's still in the building?
He owned the building, yes.
You guys own the building now, though, right?
We own the building now. We negotiated a lease that allowed us to pay down the purchase price with the rent up to 50 grand a year.
So clearly it wasn't Louis Sabb.
No. It's still the best deal I ever made. I mean,
It sounds that way for sure.
Yeah, it was a great deal. I think he was just like, if you think you can, pay me $200,000, $300,000 over the next few years, he's like, take the building. He's like, I don't think you're going to get wealthy there, but I think he kind of wanted out. And,
Yeah.
and so he gave us that opportunity and we made the most of it.
Now, have you been approached at all to make that building the administrative suite for the school department
Not yet.
with the bar included?
It's a great building. It's a great
No,
building
it is a
for the
great
school
building.
department. Yeah.
That's look at that. Look. You're an asshole. But no, I mean what I've seen is that if you own the building, you are in a better position, right? Like I know that
Oh, sure.
all this the places that have been downtown the longest, right? So you guys, Old Court, I think. Well, then probably Teddy, right, at the Athenian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody
Teddy's
else.
like 50 years. You know what? I was humbled a little bit early this summer talking about 30 years, and I heard Teddy, the Athenian Court is 50 years. I'm like, ay.
Yeah,
Like 50
yeah.
years.
50 years.
Yeah, I won't be celebrating 50 years.
Yeah, you got to have low fixed
Robin
costs
might be.
or
I tried to
anything.
sell the building to Robin. She said, fuck off.
Thank you.
But no, like that seems to be
I
the
mean,
key. Is you buy
I
the
would have bought the
building.
deli.
She would have bought the deli.
I'll tell you what, though, the deli idea, like Scott, I don't know, man.
I kind of like the deli.
I'd love a good deli
Yeah,
downtown.
oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's the one over by the courthouse, right? Are they still open?
Yeah, it's just not like on my route. I don't know how else to put it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't cruise by there that much unless I'm looking for homeless. But like, it's kind of it's you
You have to
know,
look very hard.
I'll say this: working at Lowell High, right? There's not a lot of lunch options because we have a short like little window to eat, and like a quick deli, you could call something in, and
Sure.
that's like
good, right?
it's close and good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they get to buy me though. The District 5.
That's
thing
the
is-
sandwich.
that is so
That's the
good.
best sandwich in Lowell right there.
They do a good job.
yeah.
But it would be nice to have like a proper New York style deli
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Lowell.
The
But
storefront is open across the street again.
Which
what?
one? Right on the
Right
corner?
on the corner.
Yeah.
which one?
Right on the corner, like when you walk out our door, like instead of taking a left down Merrimack, right across the street, like where the train is. The very first.
Do you guys
building right
remember
there.
what was in there for a while?
Ice cream
It's
place.
been a lot
I
of
don't know. No, it was the best thing I've ever seen in my life in Lowell, and it was. I can't believe they didn't survive. It was basically it was a place that was doing paternity tests.
Oh, no, I don't remember
I'm
that.
like, this is a
Yeah.
great idea. How is this idea not working?
Yeah, yeah.
Did they get the Maury contract or no?
I mean, think about it. Like that's just like, how did that? Oh, was it a paternity? It was something like that. Or
It
like,
was something like that.
yeah, I was like, oh, that's a great idea. That's gonna last forever. But you see the turnover. I mean, there's been a lot of businesses that come and go.
Yeah,
Good runs, like really good runs, but 30 fucking years.
yeah. 30 years in a 12,000 square foot building. Through fire, recession, pandemic,
So when was the fire?
2001. 2001.
Okay.
7 years in. Yeah.
I remember that. You guys were closed for about a good year and a half.
No, it seemed that way. We were hell bent on getting open for Christmas parties. The fire happened in the beginning of September.
It was August. We were closed for vacation.
Right. It happened right before 9/11.
Oh,
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
one of those perspective things, right? Like, poor me. Poor us. We're closed down and we're fighting the good fight to get insurance money, and we're telling people we can't fulfill their function agreements and this, that, and the other thing, laying people off, and then 9/11 happened.
yeah.
I'm gonna stop complaining and just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not that we were complaining. I'm just saying.
No, but I mean, if you got it, and the other thing too is like I think there was a downturn at the time too, wasn't there?
Oh,
Right after, wasn't
yeah,
there?
yeah. Well, the big downturn was 2007, just after we opened Moonstones. We're good.
See, but
We're
I
good.
remember-
Yeah.
I remember-
Horrible economic time.
I remember
We do that.
Moonstones being hopping though. Even
Moonstones hit it out of the park from day one, and that was end of May, early June, 2008. But the recession was beginning, and I don't think anyone really knew about it. Well, that was a .com bust, right?
no, that
No,
was the housing.
2007 was the mortgage crisis.
A mortgage
Yeah.
crisis. Yeah.
Mortgage bond fallout. Oh, that's
Well, all of a
What-
sudden,
how did that ever happen? What a bad idea.
no one saw that one coming. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
and that's not on tap again, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's coming again. So I mean, that was kind of that spot was what was it, a ground round?
round. Yeah. Before that, Howard Johnson's.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really like a prime location, but you guys.
Well, you know what? We were trying to find another spot for Cobblestones, and Kathy Kelly was the owner of the ground round and the hotel at the time.
Oh, really? I never knew
Yeah,
that.
and she reached out and she said, "I heard you were looking for another location. Consider this location. I'll give you a great deal." mean, it was a pretty good deal. The building was an absolute mess. I mean,
I would just think this. I just picture like old peanut shells everywhere, like in every closet, every.
yeah, we probably found them for a year after.
But no, then like because the concept is completely different from what you guys had
Yeah.
at Cobblestones, right? Like it's
Yeah, I think that was the idea to flip the coin. I thought it was too close. I thought I just and Kathy, my wife, and one of my best consultants, was like, no, it's not too close to be on the Cobblestones. But I thought, unlike McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, the average check was a little higher. We'll be stealing from people who come into downtown, and we weren't doing so well sales wise that I wanted to sacrifice those sales. So I thought, let's just be something completely different. And also, Cobblestones was what we were doing at the time, 30 years old.
Right.
We were looking for a fresh burger and a green bottle of beer.
yeah.
And then Moonstones was, 12, 13 years later that we were looking for a new place. And at that time, martini bars and upper scale restaurants in the suburbs were happening with Blue Ginger and Wellesley, and the Raw Bar and Tapas. So like I just embraced all of it. I'm like, let's do all of these things under one building in the suburbs, right off the highway, so we could try to draw people from, up Route 3.
I just remember the first time going there, I was like, you didn't feel like you were in like Chelmsford.
No, the idea was to be
That's true.
To be Metro. Yeah.
I never felt like I was at Skips.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time I went there, I was dating this fancy chick, and she was all right, but you remember her? She was fancy as fuck, and she's like, oh, this is great, and like, and we had the it's still on the menu. It's the buffalo calamari.
All right. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is good. And then it was the Korean short rib and whatever. Like it was the small plate thing was fantastic, and it was like. It was a good contrast to what you guys were doing.
Yeah.
It worked, but the thing that worked was that you had, I think the kid's name was it Cody?
Oh, Cody.
Cody Weber?
Yeah.
Was he the first one over there? Somebody
He was
switched.
No.
part of the opening team, wasn't he?
No,
He
he was
and Chris-
not the opening team.
Not
No,
the
he
opening
was
team.
at Cobblestones for a bit first.
Yeah.
Because
So-
Peggy was in charge.
Yeah, no. Oh, no, he was not. Oh, no, he was not an opening manager.
No.
The opening manager was Steve Simone, who we took from Cobblestone. We took a handful of people from
And
Rob,
Kim.
and she didn't forgive me for a long time.
Oh, Kim Mello? That's
Yeah.
right, she was
Kim
over there.
Mello,
Yeah.
Chris Normandin.
Took all my best.
Yeah.
Chris.
Well, but see that to me, like that to me has been the staple of your place. It's really the staple of any place. You guys have always had good staff,
Oh, that's the key.
right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean-
Yes, it matters.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, you've been there forever, right?
Oh, yeah. 30 years.
And you figure like I remember, like I said, like my first when I get divorced, right? My first Sunday out of like I remember sitting at the bar. I was waiting up for a drink, a date. She never showed up. Back's like, Batch, like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, I don't know, like, doing this on Saturday, Sunday. Like stay home because you got to go to work on Monday. No, you're coming out. He's like, we're gonna have a Sunday fun day. I'm like, what's a Sunday fun day? He's like, oh, just meet me at Majors. I'm like, yeah, I go to Majors. He's like, meet me at Majors at whatever. And we went to Majors and we had a great day. Like I'll just leave it there. But like it was, just people that were fun, or like I'd meet you guys down for industry nights with
Yeah.
Poxy on Sundays or whatever. And it was just, but the people that worked there were always, even now, like I don't know where you find these people. You always have good
Me
people.
neither. Yeah, me neither. Well, that's what we aim for.
Yeah.
We aim for having good people.
Yeah.
They might not be the strongest bartender, the strongest server, but if they're a good person, that's what matters to us most because you can work around.
You can't teach
So
that.
that's
No, they're just good people.
And if they're not, they just weed themselves out.
Right. That's the thing. You meet the good people because the bad people don't last. Because when you have a culture of good people who care about the environment, care about each other, you got a general manager who's been there forever and ever and
Yeah.
ever, and she is making sure that the ethics and the policies and the procedures are in place.
Yeah.
The team is supporting each other. The minute you have somebody who doesn't buy into the program, they don't last.
Well, it's always been it's been a safe place. It's never been a knucklehead bar at all.
Yeah.
You said to me one time though, you're like, Batch, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm like, like I always kind of think like you go to Cobblestones when you want to do something special,
Special occasion.
and you're like, well, if you don't come to the special places, the special like on if you I forget how you said it, but you're basically like you have to come more or there won't be here. I'm like, oh, it's kind of a good point.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, you can't wait for the next divorce.
right. I mean, the next rehearsal party. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we
Well,
can't pay the bills.
God, forget about that.
Get divorced.
Forget about that. The next date. You know what I mean? These things are few and far between. But like, we go there all the time, or we have a good time, and it's nice and calm, except for Tuesday nights after the council meeting. No, I'm just kidding. But like, it's been
That's funny.
it's a good place to go, and it just seemed. Oh, by the way, I heard that who the hell was telling us this? Danielle, my friend Danielle with the red hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't miss her. It's like a volcano erupting. But like,
Healy?
No. No.
she went in for you guys. Like the baby geniuses were in town. The
Yeah.
Jehovah's?
Future leaders.
no, not the Jehovah.
Oh, yes.
Young Business Leaders of
Yes,
America or
yeah.
something.
No, the medical students,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
future
see that.
medical leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys had the buffet.
Yeah.
Because she works at the courthouse. All the courthouse girls came over, and they were like, "We heard there's a buffet," so they came in. They're like, "It's the best thing ever." They're like, "It was so good. They had this, they had that."
Yeah.
I'd love to
It
hear
was,
that.
It was a great buffet.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
They were like, it was epic,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Oh, I'm
So-
glad to hear they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They really
Because I
did.
saw her, but I never stopped over there because I was running around with the buffet. But
So
I
what's
didn't
your
realize they got the buffet. That's awesome.
so being there for this long, right? What is the worst day you ever had in your 30 years at Cobblestones?
Oh gosh, I don't know. There's not a lot of worse days. One of the worst days that I remember, and it was because it was just after COVID. We
Yeah.
were just kind of like getting back into the swing of things. I had just had surgery on one of my knees, and Larry had one of his coat drives there, and it was
I know what
outside.
you're going to say.
It was just a lot. Personally, for me, it
Oh.
was a lot.
Oh, that wasn't
Yeah.
the day that the pipe burst in the cellar.
That wasn't good, but
That wasn't good. And I was away.
Oh
And
no.
she was like, and let me tell you something about this one. She is a warrior. She is as close to unflappable as anybody. But when she is on the edge, you know it's bad. Like, and she just said to me on the phone, she's like, I can't fucking deal with this right now. I was away. I was somewhere. I don't
Was it a
even know
water
what.
pipe or was it a shitter?
It was a
it
shitter.
was,
Oh,
it was
no.
bad.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
really bad.
We didn't know at first, but we had some plumbing problems upstairs. And
Sorry about that.
Long story. Yeah, long story.
That was Han.
It was a full house.
Han's known for clogged though.
Yeah, it was a full house.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, right now, you just got to run it out, and I'll start making calls for emergency services and try to get somebody on site tonight. At first, she was talking about having the staff clean it up and saving us thousands of dollars. We didn't know exactly what the full story yet.
Yeah.
But then, as the night progressed over a couple hours, and like I think
like, we cannot do
we
that.
think there's things
That's
floating.
Not okay.
No.
Stop it. No.
I'm playing. I'm playing.
Did Party really want to see your staff do that? You're like, get down there.
No, not at all.
No.
Serve
Not at
Pro.
all, Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly who came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like $10,000, and
Yeah.
that
Ooh,
they
baby.
would cover it. And,
Well, I was impressed with. I don't remember. I think it was it Winterfest. You guys had. No, it was some. I don't know if it was Winterfest, whatever it was, but the hood went off, whatever it was, the fire.
Oh,
This
yeah.
past Winterfest.
Well, there was Winterfest,
oh,
right?
Yeah. That
And
wasn't
then-
pretty.
And then you guys were like, "Hey, this just happened," and like the fire department did their best. Like people helped you guys out. That was kind of like a good. You know what I'm talking about?
It was a
Remember
good-
this?
good-
It was a good
community effort.
disaster.
Yeah, because people were hearing about it and were reaching out and asking, "What can we do to help?" And it was just, it was pretty awesome.
And if I understand correctly, other restaurants
Yep.
helped you guys out,
Yep.
right?
Well, I jumped on Facebook. We needed to find an emergency repair because the answer went off. The fire thing went off because the grill flame got too high, and it dumps chemicals all over the kitchen
Jesus.
equipment,
Yeah.
which makes so now you have to clean up, and sometimes you have to bring in experts to clean up because the Board of Health won't let it fly without an expert. It was on a Saturday. We had the sponsor party scheduled upstairs that night. I mean, if it couldn't have happened at a better time. It was like sort of in between and there was a hockey game that day.
Yeah.
PWHL, right?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Sold out hockey game, and everyone
lot.
cleared out. And then it happened, and they were all coming back in 2 hours or 3 hours, and we had Winterfest. But yeah, it was a lot. The fire department came down. The Board of Health came down. He said, if you can do this and you can do that and you can do this, we'll let you open tonight.
Yeah, I think it was Jimmy Sweatshirt that was down
Yeah,
there.
yeah, he was great.
Yeah. It was really great. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And,
I was grateful to see his face.
Now, was it worse when one of your bartenders almost set the place on fire because she couldn't figure out how to light a fireplace?
Oh, geez. Well, that didn't almost set the place on fire. That's
The
A lot
alarm
of smoke.
off?
Lot of smoke.
yeah. You're talking about Alyssa.
Oh, I'm going to say her name.
She did want me to mention her name. So
Oh, she
there-
did?
There it is.
Oh, all right.
Fire
I
starter.
was fired.
Are you going to talk about your best bartender?
Patricia's one is mentioned.
Sparky.
As soon as I saw, because we were at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium because they were doing that holiday thing that they did for the first time, where they just invited everybody to come celebrate, basically.
What? What is
It
this?
was what did they call it? But there were a lot of different restaurants there, almost like a taste of the town kind of
Yeah,
thing, but it was free to the community.
Yeah, community tasting. Yeah.
Oh,
You
really?
had to have been there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had to.
How did we miss this, Batch?
I know.
I don't know. Was it
So we were there, and I look at my phone, and it was.
We need an invite
it was
next time.
property
This
protection.
was it a soup kitchen, was it?
No, there were a lot of restaurants. There was a lot of good food there, and they had live music, and they had other things going on. It was great. I can't believe you don't know about it.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I think
this.
the
It's
city.
pretty-
off.
I think the city manager. I think Tommy ran.
Yes, he did.
It was
yeah.
like.
Oh, yeah?
Came
Yeah,
from
it
his
was at a
office.
city hall to sort of just like
Maybe it was.
expose restaurants to the community.
Oh, this is the thing they're doing like every so often.
This was
they
the
would
first
kinda
year they did it.
showcase.
Well, I know they do the taste of Lowell, but it wasn't that.
No,
It was
it wasn't
something
No.
else.
It was
wasn't
more-
that. I can't remember what it was entitled, but
Yeah.
Huh.
It's gonna bug me that I
Interesting.
can't remember
I
the name
know.
of it actually.
It was like it was like a tasting of all the restaurants, and
yeah,
the
everybody
public
came,
could come in.
Exactly. Free,
How'd that
free
go?
to the public.
It was great.
It was
Yeah.
well
Yeah, it was
attended.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was
It's a great
probably was the day after the 12 bars of Christmas. That's probably was it on a Saturday.
Could be.
That's probably what happened. you know what I
Recovery
mean?
Day.
Yeah.
You missed that day.
So regardless, I saw my phone. Property protection was calling me, and I said they lit the fireplace. I know they tried to light.
That's awesome. So, all right. So, 30 years. So, who was the first administration that you worked under then? City manager would have been.
Dick Johnson.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's going back a long way.
Yeah.
So, do you like?
I think we're now up to 8 city managers. We've seen 8 city
Have you
managers come
counted?
and go.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, I keep count, and I'll tell you about every one of them too.
Has it been steadily?
This is supposed to be
In a good way.
No. This is a question. I think it's worth. Is that a
Oh
tough
no,
question?
absolutely.
It's like I'm just curious. Like, is Lowell business friendly over the 30 years you've been here?
Yes, but that comes with a caveat. But yes, compared to what? Chelmsford? Hell yes.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Chelmsford.
no shit, really?
Yeah. Chelmsford talks a good game, but no, we've had our problems in Chelmsford. Yeah, no. Lowell's been very friendly. We were also pretty well connected. We've been a good community member.
Yeah.
Kathy comes from a great family that's involved. So
Wow, what's the deal with Chelmsford?
we've made friends. No, I'm not going there.
See, that's,
Surprised you even said it all out.
Yeah.
well, no, because there's always this impression, right?
It's
Like,
not
that-
everybody. The city manager of Chelmsford is amazing.
Yeah.
Paul Cohn's a great guy. He's been a true friend, but just different towns are different. There was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sign guy there, way back when. Like every time you put a sign up, he came swooping down and told you had to
Oh.
take the sign up.
that's the guy. But we talked about this on the radio years
I
ago.
think we did,
Who,
yeah.
Mark Dupel?
Well,
Isn't that your last name?
I think we just went with Sign Guy.
Sign guy.
he was the one that was complaining about all the American flags, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That's the guy.
Asa will remember.
He's a
this.
great guy.
Huh?
Asa
Oh,
will
Ace will remember that, yeah.
You're missing it. You're missing it.
Oh,
He's my brother.
oh really? Is that your brother?
Legit.
That is
I
the
was like, "What?
best.
He's just doing his job."
And she said that, and she means it because that's who she is. She follows the rules.
Oh, no, I
So
know.
like that's like the best manager you want, right? But when it's her brother following the rules of City Hall, so that I can't promote my new business out in Chelmsford, I'm like, tell your brother stop being such a prick. I'm like,
That is hilarious. I never knew that connection.
yeah. He was to the letter.
I thought you were from
He was to
Lowell.
the letter.
I am.
Oh, he moved to Chelmsford?
Yeah.
I hate people like that.
In Florida.
Who would do such a thing?
I know. I've been in no show for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I think I've always thought that there's been this impression of Lowell as being neglectful of the downtown, but I think the city's always tried really hard to, no matter what administration, frankly, like to get things going. It's just tough. Like it's a tough place to,
In Lowell?
yeah, just.
That's not been my impression. We've been extremely supportive.
No, I'm saying that it's been supportive. I'm saying, but it's tough. Like every administration has been supportive,
Yeah.
but it's tough to do business in downtown Lowell.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's coming from a guy who's been there 30 years. But look, we wouldn't be there 30 years if it wasn't for theater, arena, function rooms, all the events, folk festival, Winterfest, all of these special events that bring people downtown.
Yeah.
They're what keep us afloat.
They matter.
The day in and day out
Yeah.
stuff that works for the ramen bar and the Mexican restaurant that seats 30 people.
Right.
And they've all done really well and they do a good job and they deserve the success. But a larger place and a place with a higher ticket, higher average check, the Lowell community is had its trouble
I think the
keeping them
the
open.
women's, what is it, the hockey team?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
great.
That was
brought
an
in a lot of
unexpected
great.
move.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their fans, those girls, well, I shouldn't say those girls. The fans that I've
Chicks.
met, well, yeah. Well,
Broads? Is that what you're saying?
yeah. The women, women, that's what you call them. Right? Okay, that's what you call them.
Okay.
Well, they're not all women.
We
right?
can agree on that. Well,
No, like
theoretical women.
No, like Sonny goes all the time. Like
Jesus
they brought in.
Christ.
WHL,
Be careful.
There we go.
women's hockey.
They have brought in some. I've had great conversations with their fans. First of all, they don't like coming to Lowell.
The fans are great.
They're like not meaning they don't like coming to Lowell.
Yeah.
They don't like the fact they have to travel from Boston to Lowell.
Right.
I'm like, we have to go to Boston for everything else. Like, okay, but they love it up here. They have a good time. They're wicked nice.
We
They're-
love them.
They like
Yeah.
they like
They
to
were-
drink. And
Fantastic
great.
customers.
they're
and,
fun people, man.
and they come full force.
And hockey,
Yeah.
hockey parents are the best.
Yeah.
Well, and
When it comes down to like dance or like other, things like hockey is the best.
did you guys get the dances from the auditorium?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not as much, but yeah.
Not as
Yeah.
much.
Oh,
Dancing, cheerleading, all the skaters.
I wish the Pirates did better.
so people that go say it's a great time.
I'm sure.
Yes, but there's not much of a.
All 15 of
of
them.
a-
So it's not doing well.
No.
They're not doing well. They can't. They're having.
I mean, I don't know if they're doing
they're-
well. It just doesn't bring a good crowd.
No, I think they're struggling.
That's the first year, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
First year here.
Oh, it's not.
That's
the
right. They
first
were in
year?
Worcester.
I have a theory on that. I think they need to schedule their games with more thought.
Why? When are the games?
I feel like every time I thought about going to a game, they have a game going when there's like a big sporting event. So like,
Really?
what are you going to choose? Are you gonna like watch an NCAA playoff game or semifinal game, or are you going to go see the Pirates?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
I just think that if you thought that out a little bit, like you should actually pick a time that there's not another huge event going on. It's just my 2 cents.
Well, how many games do they have though? Feels like they have like
Probably one a
1,000
week, right? It's a football thing, so they have a season. It's probably once a week.
No, not so much.
Well, they travel, right?
Yeah,
So
they travel.
every other week in theory, once every 2 weeks, roughly.
Well, how did you guys do when the AHL team was here? The Lock Monsters. Did that draw at all?
It was good. It wasn't
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't
was good.
It wasn't like the hockey pushes that we know.
And and don't get me wrong. Anything that happens at the arena,
Yeah.
we get business. But the difference is something like the PHL, which schedules a game at like 5 p.m. You get slammed at 3, and then you get slammed again at 7.
Yeah, it's great.
And I mean, it happened multiple times this season where and they're selling out. They're selling 6,000 tickets, 4,000, 6,000.
Yeah, I would roll.
So-
I would do whatever I can to keep those.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Around.
I haven't been, but I heard that. Like I said, Sonny goes all. My friend Sonny
Oh,
goes
yeah.
all the time, and he's
And
like,
they
the
spend-
hockey's amazing.
Yeah.
Here's where you want the city delegation to kind of go
Yeah.
dig their heels in it and try to
Yeah, give him a long term.
give them a good deal.
Give him a good deal.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
You want to talk about stimulating the downtown economy? There you go.
Yeah.
But see, that's good to hear though. Like that in the 30 years, you feel like generally overall, it's been a positive relationship between businesses or your business in the city. Like that's good to hear.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
So that-
He wouldn't have it any other way.
Who's that? Me?
You, yeah.
I mean,
I mean, we've had our moments.
well, no, I mean, of course you are, right? But like, it's just, and the downtown has changed. I mean, when 30 years ago, there were like businesses downtown, like there were more businesses downtown, I should say. And now it's more residential and like these used to be doctors and lawyers and whatever downtown, right?
Yeah. You know, I think that was one of the bigger mistakes we've made through the years, and I'm going back 3 decades. But in the beginning, like the rallying cry, like I'll just never forget, there was a contingent of folks that were downtown, all nice people, all cool people, but they kept trying to compare us to Newburyport. Let's be more like Newburyport. I'm like, how about we try to renovate some of these broken mills, and we try to get some residents down there. Like, it's like, we need restaurants. We need restaurants and bars. I'm like, restaurant and bars are not going to survive on the demographics of Lowell and the economic situation in Lowell. It changed, and I'm a little embarrassed that I don't know where that impetus really began. But then they started focusing on residency, and creating a local economy that's here 365. Destination city. I'm like, destination city has to be the gravy.
Right.
But you have to have a local economy.
So the state legislation just, well, they haven't passed it yet, but they're going to pass, well, hopefully they'll pass it, the happy hour thing. The, like the real happy hour thing.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
You guys have been doing a happy hour special for what, 2 years now or a year?
It's been about several months now.
Yeah, I think,
several
right.
months,
Yeah,
By the way, it's a super good deal. You can get the tenders.
really
You can
is,
get, I
yeah.
think the
Yeah.
burger's on there, right? Is the burger on there?
No, the burger's not on there.
The
But
tenders are though.
the
which-
tenders, full order of tenders for, what is it?
$6.
They're my favorite tenders.
so
Those
good.
and the
Yeah,
chips.
the menu starts at $5.
The poly chips are great. I always call them poly chips. Paul, I don't know if Paul Dubic really invented them or started them or not, but I just remember them being poly chips. But like, so that whole thing, has that been helpful? Like, do people come in for the food special, or do you think is the drink special going to make an impact, or what do you just generally think of the whole happy hour thing?
You know what? I don't know. I think the more, I don't know. I don't think the happy hour thing is going to save restaurants that need saving. I mean, I think it's a fun thing to have specials and promotions, and people like financial breaks, but
Be nice to see people snap out of the COVID coma, right?
yeah, I think that has a
COVID
lot
got
to do
people
with
to
it.
stay at home.
Why are they
and
staying
just
at
not-
home?
Well,
they got, the government didn't help any, right? They scared the shit out of everybody, and
yeah.
oh my God, if you step out of your house and you go here or there, you're gonna put your whole family at risk. It's like shenanigans.
The thing I don't understand, right, is DoorDash, right?
Yeah.
If you had a family and kids and whatever and a wife, the last thing I want to do is wait for my food to get delivered. I want to drive down to a restaurant,
Yeah.
have a couple of beers, order my food after 15 or 20 minutes of procrastinating, have some fun, then get my food, and then go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ideal.
Right?
That's the way it should work.
People used to do that. They still do it, but like, why? Or like, let's have everybody over to our house. Like, just go out. Like, people don't have that. I don't know if it's it's not even the younger generation. I think it's just this.
I mean, eventually, like the economy will catch up, right? Where people aren't going to be able to pay whatever it is, $10 to have your Domino's pizza delivered to you because you don't feel like shagging it or whatever, or McDonald's or something like that, right? Like I see kids do this all the time. They pay $10 to have like
Every day.
2 burger meals from McDonald's get delivered to their house, and it's like, oh my God.
But
I live,
nothing,
I live in a condo on the river in downtown Lowell, and me and Kathy were talking about this the other day. People, they come through the door. Dunkin' Donuts comes through the door and delivers, coffees. McDonald's, like they're paying double to have
And
to
Uber
not
Eats,
leave the house.
that business model of Uber Eats and DoorDash too, like it's not really feasible over the long term because they're whacking the restaurant for an unreasonable amount in reality, right? So they're going to ask you to charge half for your meal or whatever, and then they're whacking the customer on the other end. Like that's just like eventually people are just going to say no. Like the restaurants will say no, or the people will say no, and I mean I just see it dying. That's a stock to short, by the way.
well, because, I mean, I think, like, for me, I know, like, I go places because of, like, when I go get coffee, like, I go to the coffee mill in downtown Lowell, because the people there are great, right? You go see the bartenders that you know. You go to, like, the places that you know, the people or whatever. And if you try someplace new, it's because you've heard it's good or whatever. Like, and then you end up talking to people. Like, there's a social aspect of going out. Because, like, are people just not social anymore? Like, I don't get it. Like,
no. I think to your point about the government not helping, I think it was all kinds of dynamics. To be honest with you, I mean, it took a couple of years of sheltering in place. It's a couple of years of people being afraid of getting sick. Besides the rules, people got used to cooking at home.
Yeah.
People got used to getting delivery at home. I think people got used to not going out until 11 or 12 o'clock and being hungover the next day and tired. Now people go out a little earlier and don't stay out as late. Like behaviors changed. The pandemic really changed behaviors societally.
And the subconscious messaging is being out with other people could be dangerous, right?
Well, I will say I had a great pandemic.
At times.
I had a great pandemic. I did. I knew what places were open. I knew where to go. I didn't stay home.
Yeah.
Places were closed early. Like I was like, oh, this is like things did close early. So like I felt great.
Yeah.
Like it was probably the most healthy time of my life. But it didn't start but we went out of our way to make sure we went out, right? Because you're like, oh, we got to support our businesses. Or like when the best thing was when they had those, you can only have, was it 4 people or 6 people?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
10 feet apart.
Somebody feel like, oh, sorry, we already have a.
I'll go down to Cobblestones with you, but I only want to have beers.
Yeah.
No, you got to order the fries, bro.
I'm like, that's fine, but there's only there's only 6 of us going. Who are we gonna cut loose? Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. No, I know it was tough, but there were some advantages
Why do I feel
to
like
it.
I know who's at the top?
Well, see, now that's bringing us back to Chelmsford. In Lowell, people weren't coming through the door checking if people were actually 10 feet apart. If tables were actually 6 feet of spacing.
Nor should they have.
Chelmsford came through the door with measures.
Right.
Yeah. So again, I don't want to badmouth everything about Chelmsford, but the residents want more of just to go back there because I don't want to leave a bad taste in anybody's mouth. The residents like it to be a more sleepy town, a lot of residents. So we got hassled about our front lights. We tried to do smoking and like a promotion out front and a smoker. The fire department came by. Now we're like 20 feet from the building. The fire department's like, you can't do that here. We couldn't have a fire table. Lowell, you can have a fire table, and we're in a downtown historic district filled with buildings built in the 1800s.
Oh my God.
And in Chelmsford, like, you can't have that fire table. I'm like, oh my God, the flag thing.
The flag, the flag people.
Yeah, just not. I think they've maybe gotten better through the years. I don't pay as
If you've been sitting at home for 4 years, not going out to local establishments, get off your butt, go back, enjoy yourself. You'll have a good time. It'll be totally worth it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, so
it's okay. It's safe.
So to wrap this up, what is going on for Folk Festival? Let's run down this again.
Folk festivals, we do the same thing we've been doing now for 30 years. We have a little festival within the festival after hours. I mean, we go out in the streets with grills, and we make some great drinks. We bring by the big Merrimack Valley beer truck and have draft beers, but inside gets packed. And then we do live music, reggae music, Friday and Saturday night.
And you'll be on the grill?
With Free Volt, I will be on the grill at some point in time.
Nice.
Listen, Folk Festival, we were talking about this earlier today. I was talking about my nephew is coming from New York City.
Yep.
My best friend is coming from North Carolina. My brother's coming from Martha's Vineyard. My daughter is coming from Rhode Island. Like every year, we triple the size of our staff, thanks to family and friends who allow us to just go balls out for.
But your girl Judy and Mary can't do a shift?
No, they're not doing a shift.
They're so boring now.
Both of her kids have worked for us even after they left.
Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth and Michael both worked for us through the years.
Yep.
And I've come back and helped out. So it's kind of like that.
And
and that's a lot has to do with her leadership. She'll fill the restaurant. Post-COVID times, it's still hard to get employees. We can't beat the capacity without borrowing employees, without people coming back and helping out. And she's got a list of people who are willing to still work there, even though they don't still work there.
No,
that's awesome.
Amazing.
And
then for the anniversary, you said maybe September.
Yeah, we haven't chosen a date yet. On Sunday, post Folk Festival, we're doing sort of a staff reunion. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people have worked at Cobblestones for 30 years. So we're inviting them all back just to say hello to each other and celebrate, have a couple of drinks. But for the public and everybody else, we're going to do something in early September.
There's a lot of people who have gone on to do, like you guys have had a lot of people that have gone on to do great things from Cobblestones.
Sure.
Not to mention the Wall of Fame. How are we doing on time?
we can come back.
Real quick. Best celebrity you met, worst celebrity you met. Well, don't. If you want to do the worst, you can. Don't, just do the best. Who's the best?
Who's my fondest memory?
I don't know. You've seen more than I have.
You know what?
Ray Romano, maybe?
Ray Romano was a great guy. Kevin James invited people to his private room from the bar to come party with him.
They were up on the 3rd floor.
You got no more female bartenders?
That was really cool. I have to say that Oprah Winfrey was the most impressive.
She was delightful.
Because she is mega star.
Yeah.
And she stood out front in the snow and took pictures with customers. And
Oh, wow.
her security forces are trying to get her through the door and trying to shield her. And she's like, no, it's all good. She talked to people in the lobby.
Oh, wow.
Mark Wahlberg was very cool. He acted like Mickey Ward while he was there. He was
That
in
is
character.
hilarious.
He was in character, so that was kind of fun.
I was there I get there 5 minutes after he left that night, and I heard a great story about a kid asking. I don't know if this is true or not, but there was a kid supposedly outside of Cobblestones ran into Christian Bale, who I guess might have been there with him. Said, "Hey, that's Batman," and Christian Bale was, he's probably just didn't really want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg made him stop and take a picture with the kid. I'm like, that is awesome.
That is awesome.
It was cool.
Yeah. Christian Bale is a little bit of a prima donna, I think.
Well, yeah,
but Wahlberg is not.
He was
No,
He was hanging out with
Massachusetts
people.
guy.
literally standing at the front desk just chilling.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know who created the greatest havoc to this day was the first big star we had was Barry Manilow. Like
Barry Manilow went to Cobblestones.
Yeah, he performed at the arena like the first year they were opened, and people flipped out. Like, I mean, hundreds of women trying to get at him, and
Wow.
it might have been 75, but
Was Tom Jones with him?
not on his day. And his manager panicked. I had to say to the guy, I'm like, this is not your first rodeo. It's all right. We got this.
Did John Calipari's check bounce? No, I'm just kidding.
No, John was all right. John Calipari was
It's a great wall of fame. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. We've had a lot come through. The Rock, he was great. He came
The
back
Rock
a couple
came to
times.
Lowell?
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
Twice he came to Cobblestones.
What, wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Serena Williams.
Damn, there's a lot of celebrities come through.
She talked about kissing Vin Diesel, having cigarette breath. That was
I met Ricky Lake at the Old Court once
Ricky
Ricky Lake.
after a show. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
kid from.
That's pretty
You weren't the father?
It was after the kid that was in the wedding singing, wedding singer. He was doing his own show, Little Orphan Danny. I forget the guy's name. And he was there. We saw the show after she was there, and I'm like, hey, we were talking for a while. I'm like, you're Ricky Lake. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like she was just like a nice
Just
regular.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, this was great.
Yeah.
A lot of
Thank you so much
appreciation
for
for
having us.
Cobblestones.
Yeah.
I love Moonstones too, and I did enjoy Stone Social. That was a great place.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
wrong time, maybe wrong place. I don't
Never
know.
open a place called Social during a pandemic. Just one
Should've
small
been
piece of advice.
Should have been Stone Social Distance. You would've been fine.
Stone Social distancing. Damn, I should have thought of that.
But the bacon was great, and your
great,
daughter was a great host, man. She was like that was a fun spot, and I'm glad I got to go up there like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, it was a great look. I mean, a great concept. Wrong place, wrong time.
Well, I just hope you guys
too bad.
keep up what you're doing, and hopefully
Another 30 years.
whatever you do
Yeah.
next, I'll be there. So.
We'll talk
Thank
to
you very
Robin because as
much.
long as
All right.
Robin's there, we'll be there. Yeah, yeah.
Remember how much you liked the last
Oh,
one?
that was so much fun. I saw my
Yeah.
mug.
Oh, we're gonna do.
Come on down for Folk Fest, too.
Oh yeah, come
Yeah,
down for
please
Folk
come
Fest.
down. Yeah.
And remember, Cobblestones is not just for your for dates
Just
or for
not just
like
special
special
occasion,
occasions.
right.
Come down, you'll have a great time. We do it all the time.
Yeah, we're blessed. We have the dining room on one side and the tavern on the other, so it can be special event or
Best of both worlds.
I will
Burgers
say
and
this:
beers.
I think you guys kicked off the hamburger renaissance in Lowell. I think right now, you go to you guys started with that smash burger.
yeah.
The smash burger, you have that at Cobblestones. Old Court's always had a good burger. Now they're doing a smash burger. Fuse is a good hamburger. Tremonti, there's a burger. The Worthen has a good one.
Warp and
Old-
Weft has a good burger.
Oh, they do. I had it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's a burger Renaissance in
Yeah,
Lowell.
we got a lot of good burger choices.
They really do.
It's
It's
true.
kind of under
That's
the
great.
radar.
That's great.
So
Hey, you know what? Lowell is extremely fortunate to have all of the restaurants it has.
there's a lot.
I mean,
of
there's
good
a lot
places
that
to eat.
are now making it and have hung on, and I think are, you had a lot of choices. You go out and
Well, I mean,
in Lowell.
every year when me and Duke do the 12 bars of Christmas, it's hard to figure out. And most of them are restaurant bars. It's hard to figure out what to leave off because there's so many good choices.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
That's probably it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? But no, it's keep up with your work. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. It was
Yeah.
fun. It was fun.
And thanks for the biz.
Yeah,
All
pleasure.
right, thank you guys. Take care.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.